Hi there, I'm Mary Ellen Zung,
And I'm Evie Schweig.
and we're both certified holistic health coaches with a common passion for educating, guiding, and inspiring people to live their best lives through healthy lifestyle choices. And this Take 20 program is a way for us to share current health topics in a short 20 minutes that will help you improve your health.
Exactly. And by participating in this program, we hope that we inspire you to take steps towards living your very best life.
And in this and future topics, we'll discuss ways for you to improve your health through eating a healthier diet, upping your physical activity, getting better sleep, maintaining healthy relationships, looking at your career, and discussing stress management.
And if you missed the monthly topics and want to check them out, you can find the recordings on our Facebook group, Tips for a Healthy Lifestyle with Evey and Mary Ellen, or on our YouTube channel, which is Take20 Tips.
Great.
So today we'll be chatting about what it means to join a CSA, which is a community-supported agriculture, and some of the benefits of doing so. So maybe, Mary Ellen, we could just talk about, first of all, what a CSA is, since some people might not know. But a CSA is an umbrella term that supports a sustainable farming system connecting farmers directly to consumers, which is us, and ensures a fair price for farm products. So it includes things like a farm share, co-ops or cooperatives, and includes farmers markets. So anything that cuts out the middleman and connects us directly to the farmer. So although you might typically think of produce when you think of a CSA, in some instances, you might also have the option of purchasing other farm products, such as eggs or meat, or sometimes dairy products.
Right, yeah. So let's first talk about the produce farm share, which is a way to buy local fruits or vegetables directly from the farmer. You purchase a share and you become a farm member. And so then the members of the CSA sign up with their farm in advance of the growing season, which helps the farms plan for the season ahead and cover the initial annual costs of farm operations. And typically you'd receive a box of vegetables and sometimes fruit that's being harvested on the farm throughout the growing season. And depending on the farm or how you ordered, you receive a box every week or every other week, depending on whether you purchased a full or a half share. And you may also have the option of receiving a full box or a half box each time.
Right. And you know, it's interesting. I have, with my farm share that I did, I actually, because it's just the two of us at the house, I actually got every other week a half box. And that was a lot of food. It was great. I loved it. So sometimes you also have the option of buying an additional fall or winter share, which extends the season for you. And that's great. I've done that as well. And that then, you know, you get a lot of the root vegetables, which are great.
Yes.
Yeah. And then in order to pick up your share, you usually have a weekly pickup station or location assigned to you by the farm, depending on where you live. You usually have several options to choose from. You can choose from a list of different options that the farmer provides. Sometimes it can be a house, sometimes it can be, you know, one time it was a local synagogue by me that I picked up from. But many farms offer different ways for you to get a share. So you can even opt for home delivery, which of course is more expensive because it's more expensive for the farmer to have to distribute it to you that way. But you can compile, another way is you can compile your own box when you're at a local farm stand or farmer's market. And I actually did that one year too. And that's really fun because you then have the opportunity to go to other farmers that are there, but also see what else the farmer is selling. And I always ended up picking up more stuff. And then yet another way that you might opt or might have the opportunity to do is as a worker share, where you actually work in exchange for the food that you get in your share.
Yeah, I've never actually done that. I've dreamt of it. but I've never
Yeah,
done it.
I've never done that one either. My sister has done that, and
Nice.
but I have not.
Cool. Yeah, that's a real community. Great. So along with the farm fresh food, other things that might be offered as part of your CSA membership might include things like the newsletter from the farm with each delivery, including notes about farm activities and box contents and cooking tips and recipes. Also, you might have opportunities to visit the farm. You're welcome to come and visit and attend events. And there might also be payment plans or financial support to accommodate households on a tight budget.
Which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we mentioned about the farm share, but which is one of the more popular ways that a CSA functions. But there are other ways that you can support farmers that are also part of the CSA, which is the Community Supported Agriculture. One of the ones we mentioned already is the farmers market. These are ways for the local farmer to sell their fresh produce directly to the community. Many times they'll be using organic methods, even though they aren't organically certified. And this is because it's very expensive for them to become certified. And small farmers tend not to be able to afford the cost of doing this, but still follow many of the organic protocols. So when you're at the farmers market, it's really important, and actually it's really kind of fun, to strike up a conversation with the farmer to find out how they're growing their crops. And many times they are so happy to talk to someone about what they're doing. All right, it's a great conversation. Have you ever done that, Mary Ellen?
Yes, I mean, that's the best part, especially when the farmers market first opens in the summer. You want to get to know your farmers and find out what's up.
You know what, before we go on to the next one, have farmers markets opened by you?
Yeah, they opened on time and 6 feet apart. Masks are required. It's outdoors, and they have a nice table with like a way in and then a way out.
Yeah.
So arrows, so people aren't bumping into each other, which they're not.
Right.
And they also have a table with hand sanitizer as you leave. So like before you get in your car, you can do your hands. So it's nice, really safe.
Yeah, I'm finding the same thing here, that it is, and you're outdoors too, so you're in open air, which is great.
People are really respectful. Yeah, it's good. So so Evie just talked about the farmers markets. There's also, which is a type of CSA, and there's also a farm cooperative, a co-op, which that's something that I'm part of. And Evie has her farm share. I have my co-op. So where I'm a member, I don't have to work. I just pay a subscription price, and bi-weekly. There is an option to get a weekly basket, but I do a bi-weekly, and you can cancel anytime. So it's not like a big investment upfront for the farmer. It's sort of an offshoot of a larger CSA where the business owner of the co-op pays the upfront to support the farmers and then sells the food to the members with a subscription. And this is a way for smaller farmers to connect to their customers by having someone buy their produce and aggregate it into one spot. So the middleman here makes a little profit, but we benefit by eating local, usually organic produce. And the middleman here is a woman in the neighborhood, and everything gets sorted in her garage, and then you just pick up from her garage. So
I've done, one of my CSAs was that way too. That, not that they sorted it, but it was delivered to a local
delivered to the garage,
family.
and then
and you just went to the garage and you checked off your name that you had received it. The other nice thing too is they had a swap box where you could swap out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later about what you get. But so that was kind of fun.
And I love having the mystery of not knowing what I'm getting.
I know.
Each week. Yeah, it's like, okay, what do I do with this?
Yeah. All right. You know
So
what? Let's talk about that a little bit later on, because I
yeah,
think that that's a good point.
so
That
there's also online sources that are
right,
really growing in popularity. Like Local Harvest is a website that lists local CSAs in your area, so you can check
right,
that out.
right. Whether you're in the Chicagoland area or
Yeah, yeah, or
in
in
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey. Yeah,
We just found that out because I thought
yeah,
it was just local to Chicago, but
right.
found out no. So
It's
it
everywhere.
really is a great resource to have.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we were talking about, kind of getting into this. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about what the benefits of the CSA are, right? And one
Lots
of
of
them is that you get to eat seasonally. Why is that good? That's a good question. Um, Foods that are allowed to ripen on the vine just naturally taste better and have better nutritional content. So they're made so that they're going to be, they taste the best when they have these nutrients. Um, Another benefit of the CSA is that there's foods that you don't see in the grocery store. And I think, Mary Ellen, this is kind of something you were talking about, that you get these different foods that we may not be familiar with. But there's heirloom varieties. There's some that are kind of ugly, that that aren't visually appealing, that people might not want to buy in a grocery store, but have fabulous flavor.
Hmm.
And there's just more varieties. So for instance, or things you've never tried before. One of the things that I learned about was garlic scapes. I had never heard of them before.
Yeah,
And that
right.
was something that I learned. Like, garlic scape is actually the flower of a garlic plant, and you
Yeah,
have to cut it off so that all the energy goes back into the garlic bulb.
yeah.
But they taste great.
It
So,
doesn't make it to the grocery store. It
nope.
gets trashed. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's delicious. You can use it. I used it last week in a recipe instead of garlic. You
Uh-huh.
just need a little bit more, but it's fresh and it's live and it's
And I just grill
garlicky.
them. I grill them on the grill, and they taste fabulous as a side dish.
Nice,
It's really good.
nice. Yeah. All right, we'll have to talk about recipes about garlic scapes
I
later.
know, right? I know. We're sidetracking here.
Yeah, I know. So you talked a little bit about variety, but rather than buying the same foods at the grocery store each week, we receive what's being harvested, and variety is good from our microbiome too. We need variety for our good health. And our body functions better when it's fed foods that are in season.
Right,
So that's another benefit to
right.
the
Yeah, I
CSA.
guess there's thousands of years of us evolving on these foods, so our
Mhm.
bodies are used to them and thrive best.
Yeah.
So, there's also an economical side, that benefit of joining a CSA, because by supporting local farmers and
Yeah.
small farms, we're supporting the local economy. So it's also a great way to start eating organic. Remember, I mentioned before that many of these local farmers are growing foods and using organic methods.
Right.
So they tend to use less pesticides and less resources to grow their crops, because they're growing them in season. They don't need to supplement with as many, as you know, um, fertilizers. They don't need to use as many pesticides.
Right, right. And the food is fresher. There's less
Yeah,
time from farm to table. As soon as the vegetable is picked, it begins to lose its nutritional value. So, if things are local, you've got more nutrients. And another benefit is less transportation, so less fuel costs and other transportation
right.
type of
Less
costs.
pollution too,
Less
then, right?
pollution.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges of the CSA? And I think some of the challenges are what we think are some of the benefits, as we've been talking here. But when you become a member of a CSA, you're assuming some of the risks that the farm might experience during that growing season. So, for example, if there's a drought and the farm doesn't have an irrigation system, the harvest will suffer and you'll get less. So you're liable to get less produce, or it's liable to look damaged,
Yeah.
right?
On the other hand, you could get a bumper crop
Right,
of
that's
one type
true.
of produce, which is good. But then you'll need to get creative on how to prepare this added bounty, or be willing to share it with friends and neighbors.
So
Like,
I had that example with radishes. So I am not necessarily a fan of raw radishes. Like I'll put a few in a salad or something, but in one of my CSA seasons, we had a ton of radishes, and I was really challenged as to how to do that. And I learned that you can cook radishes and they taste really good.
Yeah.
So now
we have that
I like
roasted radish dish.
Yeah, exactly. One of our programs.
Yeah. But some CSAs will allow you to swap out things in your box, like you were saying,
Right.
before. Yeah.
And that, I love doing that, because if you don't eat a certain vegetable, or, say you decided you didn't want to try those radishes, there's someone who loves radishes. So they're going to be putting something else in the box to swap out.
That's good. So how do you find these CSAs, Eve?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And it's really nice now with the internet. It's so much easier than it used to be to get in touch with you. So of course, a Google search, CSAs, in your area, will bring up a bunch of different farms, and each one of them will give what they like to grow, what they tend to grow, how long their season is, the different programs that they have, like we mentioned before. So that works well.
The cost,
And then the local newspaper, I know in the Chicago area, in about May, there's always a posting of all of the CSAs and farmers markets that are in the area. I'm sure you have them by you too, Mary Ellen, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in the newspapers.
Okay.
But certainly on social media, they're there. And of course, the websites like Edible Jersey and the Department of Agriculture, they list them every year. So you could always go to those sites as well.
And Chicago has the same. So the government actually has the agricultural department actually has a listing, and there's a Chicago Fresh Farm CSA's website as well. And we can add these websites to the Facebook page when we're done.
Let's do that,
so that people can look them up as well.
Good. Okay.
And then just one other thing is the USDA Agricultural Marketing Service has a national directory, and we'll post that one as well. And localharvest.org as well is a good one.
Good.
Yeah, good. So
that's it about CSAs. Hopefully, you'll try something out.
And hopefully we've encouraged you to kind of stretch your boundaries and see what's out there. If nothing else, to head out to the farmer's market and make friends with your local farmer. I mean, it's great. I mean, I know we have farmers markets that have meat, eggs, flowers, produce, as well as others that are doing, essential oils and whatnot.
Yeah, soaps, homemade things. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Great. Cool.
So thank you for listening. Please join us again next month. We'll be doing our next Take 20 on August 4th. It's called Hidden Sugar in Your Food. So that's very interesting, Mary Ellen. I love to talk about that.
Yes. And and the other thing that's happening is we are going to be doing our free sugar cleanse again.
Real popular.
It's something that we've typically done in January and also at some point in the summer. But we thought it would be good to do at the end of the summer, early fall. Once kids get back to school, hopefully. And
fingers crossed.
It might be a good time to focus on you and, do a 10-day free sugar cleanse.
Right.
And so for that, we'll just need your email address.
Right. And it's
all
just
the information.
Exactly. Just a series of emails that come directly to your mailbox each morning with healthy eating and lifestyle tips on how to eliminate sugar, but also how to eliminate the cravings that come with it, right?
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah. So
Good.
that's a good, yeah.
Good.
And then we'll lead it on to more things, right? Afterwards. But
Yes, got a whole lineup after that,
sounds
but
good.
good.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And
Thank you,
stay well,
everybody.
everybody.
Stay well. We'll see you
Take
next
care.
month. Good night.
Bye-bye.